Did you notice that Luigi suffers from a serious mental disorder? Do you know the sad truth behind Donkey Kong? And do you know why Peach really fell in love with Mario? Well, my friends, these are the things that only adults noticed in the Super Mario movie. Luigi suffers from anxiety. Throughout the whole movie, Luigi is quite fearful, and you could say cowardly. For kids, this is simply funny. But if you carefully analyze Luigi's behavior, you'll realize that he actually suffers from anxiety. He always looks nervous, and he's rarely confident. It seems like the only thing he thinks about is the worst-case scenario. And if we combine this with what we saw in the family scene, it would make a lot of sense. Mario's toxic family not only made Mario insecure, but it could have affected Luigi to that extent as well. It's expected since his mind only sees the worst in the world. And let me tell you, Luigi is a clear representation of anxiety. His entire way of behaving and facing situations is exactly what an anxious person goes through. After learning this, if we look again at several of the scenes where Luigi appears, his behavior is not normal at all. You realize that he's hiding something in his thoughts. If you've ever suffered from anxiety, of course you'll understand Luigi's character much better. Did you guys notice this? Bowser is a stalker. A pretty disturbing detail that only adults noticed is that Bowser isn't really in love with Peach. Rather, he's completely obsessed and frustrated with her. From the beginning, everything revolves around Peach. He doesn't care that much about power. He just wants Peach to accept him as her husband, that's all. He insists every chance he gets. And if we take this to a real-life situation, it would be pretty terrifying. Imagine running into someone all the time who insists on being with you. They do even the cruelest things just to keep you by their side. Damn, that's not fun anymore. Actually, we're talking about a stalker. Understanding this, we realize that Peach's piano song isn't romantic. It's basically the song of an obsessive psychopath who's willing to do anything to be with that person. Now that's really dark. For some people, Bowser's behavior is just ridiculous. But in real life, things like what Bowser does with Peach could end in the worst way. Just think about it. We could compare Bowser's attitudes to the song Every Breath You Take by the Police. For many people, its lyrics are very disturbing. It's as if it was written by a stalker. And that's really scary. Anyway, this is a detail that only an adult could notice. Peach fell in love with Mario because she didn't have any other options. In the video games, they never explained to us how the worlds in Mario worked. We would just show up to collect stars, defeat Bowser, and save the princess. Of course, in the end, Mario was rewarded with a kiss on the nose from Peach. But with the movie, all of this changes. We're led to believe that since she was a child, Peach had never interacted with another human. Especially a man. When you're already an adult, you understand this much more than when you're a kid. And if you think about it, Peach is an important woman, and she's a high-value woman. So, for her to just fall in love with a short plumber, it might seem like just a fantasy. So, from what we saw in the movie, we realized that Peach only fell in love with Mario because he was her only option, not because she was really attracted to him. Now, some might wonder, then why didn't she fall in love with Luigi? If we compare Mario to Luigi, Mario is much braver, more mature, but especially, he's the one she spent the most time with. And this could be the same case for Luigi with Princess Daisy. Which honestly can sound very sad, but it's a reality that only adults can understand. Is Cranky Kong a bad father? From the very first moment Cranky appears, his attitude toward his son Donkey Kong is cold and very distant. He doesn't seem to be a father who's proud of his son, not even when Donkey Kong does something amazing. He just looks at him as if he were nothing special. And then you might wonder, does this make him a bad father? Well, friends, the truth is that his actions deeply traumatized Donkey Kong. By not showing he was impressed or congratulating Donkey Kong for his achievements, Donkey Kong started acting over the top to get his attention. His father is so demanding and strict that he's practically destroying Donkey Kong from the inside. This explains why Donkey Kong is so over the top and boastful when we first see him in the fight with Mario. He doesn't do it because he wants to impress everyone. He does it because he wants his dad's approval. That's why after being defeated by Mario, Donkey Kong hates him in a way that many of us don't understand, because now Mario and Peach have all the attention. This was so subtle in the movie that many people didn't even notice it. Only adults who have gone through something similar. The family scene. At first glance, the dinner scene with Mario might seem normal. It's even funny for the kids. But what only the adults noticed is that it's not just a simple family gathering, rather it's a pretty cruel judgment of Mario. If you pay attention, you can hear everything they say to him. It's just mockery and criticism, nothing good or positive to help Mario. It seems like they just want to humiliate him. Not even his own father believes that Mario is going to achieve anything in his life. The cruelest thing is that Mario puts up with it as if he's already used to being mocked every day. So with this scene, they simply made us understand that the atmosphere within Mario's family is quite toxic. And Mario sadly sees it as something normal. He doesn't have support from anyone except his brother Luigi. This is actually quite dark, but at the same time, real, and only adults understand it. Mario's business. At the beginning of the movie, we see that Mario wants to start his own business with his brother, to be the best plumbers in the city. It's practically the only thing they know how to do, but unfortunately their business fails. It doesn't matter how much effort and dedication they put in for people to give them a chance. And if you're someone who has tried to run a business in real life, chances are you've also failed. For kids, this just seems like Mario's story and that's it. But for adults who have gone through this scene meant something much deeper. In real life, very few businesses actually succeed. And of course, this is something a child won't understand. It's such a raw message and idea that only adults noticed it. References and curiosities that only adults noticed. The commercial they used to promote their plumbing business was made with the style of 80s and 90s commercials, just like back in the days when we first saw The Plumber. And it's not just the commercials or the music, there are several references to games from those times. Do you remember Duck Hunt? Probably not, but maybe your father does. Back then, it was unique. Connecting a plastic gun to your Nintendo, and when you shoot, it appeared on the screen. This was something new, and it left a mark on many people. Inside the movie, in fact, there's even more. There are references to this game. The dog of the millionaire woman who appears at the beginning is based on one of the first designs that was considered for the Duck Hunt dog. Besides seeing the dog, in one of the paintings in the pizzeria, we can see one of the ducks that appears in this game, and another game that appears in the movie is a game from 1987, which is Kid Icarus. Mario is shown playing this game after feeling tired of everything. Which is not a coincidence, because instead of a game over screen, a text appears that says I'm finished, or in Spanish, estoy terminado, implying how exhausted Mario feels that nothing goes right for him. Anyway, do you know any other references that only adults have noticed? Leave your answer in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.